What is up, everyone? We are here in Miami and West Palm Beach this weekend, and we're not here to buy $3 million paintings from Art Basel. No, we're here for something much cooler. The Cookie Monster R33 now has a 6-speed, fully sequential, fully billet transmission installed from PPG, thanks to RAV Performance down here. And we're about to go hit the dyno. I'm super duper excited. Let's go hit the dyno and let's go make some jam. We are pulling into RAV Performance, and oh my goodness, there's my girl. Woo-wee! All right, guys, so now we're here at RAV Performance. They've got a whole bunch of cars out front, and we're with the man, the myth, the legend, Roberto. If you have an R32, an R33, an R34, Supras, a 2J, I mean, anything, any of the Japanese legendary cars, this is the guy you want to contact to get your stuff set up. And I did a lot of research before I reached out to him. I talked to Rob with his wicked R33 build, and we're on a very similar setup. Is his car actually up there right now? His car's up there, so that's pretty cool. So we'll see under that thing, but I'm kind of like the blue twin of Rob right now. He's got more power than me, but same transmission, same clutch, and yeah, today's the dyno day.
Slightly different setup, as you can see.
Dang, look at this thing. So 2JZ in the 300ZX. What is this, like a 91? Yeah. Man, this is so sick. Guys, Roberto's moving the R33 into the dyno. We're gonna get this girl ready to go and get the tune going. Woo! So you guys, it was really a match made in heaven to bring the car here to Roberto. Roberto is really experienced with Haltech. You can see right there, Haltech ECU systems, which we're running in Cookie Monster. He's also experienced and literally banged out installing this PPG transmission in like a week, but he's very experienced with PPGs. He did the one in that car right there, which is an absolute monster, and got this thing set up. And this was the best shop I could have come to. So even though it's all the way in Florida from Arizona, you go to the best place you can when you're setting your cars up, all right? If money and time allows. So you guys, this is called a hub-centric dyno, and it's what Roberto says is the future of dynoing cars, because there's no slop, the car doesn't bump around, it's safer, you get more reliable readings, and yeah, right now, I'm struggling to contain the 14-year-old boy inside of me. I'm so excited to have this car on the dyno. Honestly, it's crazy for me to say, but this is the first car I've ever put on a dyno that I own. So that is crazy to me. And it couldn't be a better car to be putting on. So let's see how she does. Let's go. Hope you guys are excited too. Roberto was telling me how this protects itself. Could you walk us through just kind of how the car protects itself?
Yeah, so it's just redundancy. You know, back in the day, everyone put a million gauges on it, and they, you were expected to constantly look at them. Those days are over. I can do a pull in the dyno blind and know that everything's fine, because if anything goes out of where I want it to be, the ECU is just going to cut me off. Yeah. For example, with oil pressure, if it ever sees oil pressure lower than what I ask it to be at a certain point, it's going to put us in limp mode. Check engine light's going to come on. It's going to kill boost. It's going to keep us from potentially damaging the engine. Amazing. Same thing with coolant. Temperature and AFR and a couple other things that we're going to work with.
So it's basically like a modern day car where if something's wrong, it's gonna kill your fun time.
Correct. It's gonna keep you from damaging.
making about, just showed it over there, we're making about 442 right now. So Roberto has been messing with the cam gears, and you can tell he's getting he's playing with timing and fuel, but he's messing with the cam gears and how they're clocked, and we're getting more responsiveness out of the motor and more power. So the idle sounds different now, and he's about to do a pull, and you guys will see the 3 different pulls we've done. This is all baseline on wastegate pressure, so we only have 15 pounds of boost. We're not even turning the boost up yet, but just giving you kind of some of the info on the build that he's given me. That's the sweet spot?
Yeah, we didn't lose anything, we just gained.
Just gained. Look at this. All right, so what do we got here? Explain what you're doing with this mad science.
So now that we got to a good point with boost, which is going to be our wastegate pressure.
Yep.
At this point, I'll usually start doing cam gear adjustment. And what that does is it lets us pick up a lot more mid-end power. So this yellow line here is where we started at. So this is with no cam gear adjustment.
Yep.
And then the white line is where we ended up after I was finished. So there's no change in fuel, there's no change in timing. The only adjustment I'm making there to get this is just playing with the cam gear settings.
Dang.
And you can see here, so we start really picking up at 4,800. So without it, we were making 191 horsepower. Now we're making
60 more horsepower at the same RPM level.
Yeah, and then as you can see, that carries over pretty well.
That is nuts.
Obviously, torque follows it, you know.
Yeah.
So you're doing the same with torque, but yeah. And then so sometimes, depending on the head and the valves and stuff, if you have like stock valves, you start losing a lot of power. So what happens is you might gain 50 down here, but you might lose 15 up here.
Yeah.
In this case, I think it's just because all the head work you have, we were able to get all the good without actually losing anything.
Nice.
If anything, we came on so much harder that it actually, just kept making power all the way to red line. So
amazing, I love it.
Recommended for anyone with RB, or RB26 or RB20, RB25s already have them, or it has an adjustable intake cam gear for factory. But yeah, huge.
Don't neglect the cam gear adjustments.
No, definitely
don't neglect it. Don't sleep on it. I'm a novice, but when we're talking about adjusting the cam gears and the degree of them, it's right here. And he's basically taking a small like brass hammer and or like tool and with a hammer on the back, and he's very gently adjusting the timing after he loosens it up, of course, and then he tightens it back down. Horsepower, 394 pound-feet of torque, and man, look at my little power steering belt holding on for dear life. We were joking because I just showed you guys, and I was saying my power steering belt was holding on for dear life. Well, R.I.P. baby. Put it on the headstone. Put it on the epitaph. She's dead. All right, last big pull of the night. Damn, baby. 596 to the wheels, 478 foot-pounds of torque. So yeah, we were just talking. This turbo is rated for about 700 horsepower, and if you go for that peak horsepower, and that's one of the reasons that I really wanted to come to RAV Performance, was if you go for that peak horsepower, you can be losing out on a lot of other stuff, including what Roberto likes to call the chunkiness in the middle of your tune. And so, you know, this car now is highly responsive. It's putting down 600 to the wheels very efficiently, and we've got a sequential. So with the flat shifting, we should be keeping up with cars with a lot more horsepower. And then eventually we'll backfill the block, go with a sump brace, and you know, we'll get this thing up into the 900 range, which is monsterish for a car like this. All right, boys, she's off the dyno. Roberto's gonna take her around for a little spin to just make sure everything's flowing smooth, and yeah, we'll get a little action. Fuck! That is so crazy!
That's amazing.
Dude, what the hell? We're all sitting here like, she came out after the first one. It was so loud. We got the 5.0 here from this baby. Literally popping and banging. 5.0 right there. How ridiculous is that? Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, change of clothes, change of scenery, and change of day. So today's a PPG driving lesson. So we're gonna head back over to RAV, you know, go over the final bits and pieces on the tune, and then have a little bit of fun before I have to go back to Phoenix, and before Roberto buttons the car up and ships it back to me there for a bunch of crazy activities with it. Roberto's just wiring some stuff up right now, the anti-lag, rolling anti-lag switch, but what we're doing is we're just ghetto rigging it for today, and then when I leave, you know, he's gonna make everything all pretty. All right, guys, so we're out here. Roberto's got the laptop in his lap. We're just doing a little break-in drive, get comfortable stuff, so, oh my goodness, listen to that. Ridiculous. I love the mechanical sound coming from the trans. Jeez. That sounds so good. Jeez. It's so amazing. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Dude. The fucking bangs during fuel cut. When you shift, it's just like, it's an absolute shotgun blast. There she is. All right, guys. Roberto's gonna give us a little juice here. That was juicy, bro. That was real juicy. Woohoo! Bro! Dude!
Every time you drive that car.
Listen to this.
That sounds like innate. It's straight up like.
Dude, it sounds like terrorism.
That good old homegrown domestic terrorism.
Bro, it is ridiculous. God, she looks so good. Dude, that is so nuts. It's ridiculous. The far away ones are so worth it. It's like, whoopah! Ridiculous, dude.
This exhaust helps.
Yeah, it helps. The Tomei helps, but it's also the Roberto sauce. Damn, bro. All right, boys. That's a real fucking good way to end off this video. We're gonna be traveling back tomorrow. Roberto's gonna button this girl up, and then she'll be coming back to Phoenix in hopefully about 2 or 3 weeks, and then she'll be terrorizing the streets there. So until the next